and sharing your experience with us. It really helps. So what we do with these videos many times is we, pass it on to our clients, we pass it on to our staff as well to kind of show them how much our system is helping others, and then, it promotes even people feeling great about, helping out in the system and, doing their job and everything else. So it really helps out when you guys are, willing to share. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Glad to help.
Amazing, amazing. So I typically have a set of questions that I usually ask clients, and then I can even turn off the camera later on and have a chat with you, get some suggestions, help you out. I've been doing this now for 12 years. I started the company, and I've dealt with agents from a perspective of, whether they start off as a single agent and grew into a huge team, and I've got some, downfalls and what not to do and what to do and kind of things. So I can maybe share some of those experiences with you as well.
Sure, absolutely.
Amazing. So we'll start with the questions on our side, and I'm going to just pull them up here of the typical questions that we ask. Give me a second. Agent locator, and there it is. All right. So the first question actually is when you actually started, when you became a client. Do you remember how long ago you started with us?
Well, it's actually a story. We had another
Okay.
website that we were dealing with. They promised us a lot of things that didn't deliver. They're a major player in real estate. And even when we had SEO set up with this website, the leads were awful. So the process into moving into Agent Locator was kind of a long process because we had to justify the money we spent on the other website as opposed to what we would be spending again with Agent Locator. So it was about a 2-year process getting back and forth with Agent Locator until we finally decided at the end of 2020 to pull the trigger and actually do it and fire the other website.
Wow.
And it's probably the best decision we ever made.
Oh wow. That I'm getting goosebumps by actually saying that because it shows the true value in what it is that we deliver. And I'm glad you're not mentioning the other provider. In all honesty, sometimes there's a ton of them out there, and sometimes you get bad reps. Sometimes the people that you deal with are not maybe the best, and sometimes the companies are just total wackos out there. So thanks
Yeah.
so much for the story. I really appreciate that. So the transition must have been, difficult because I can understand from a business owner perspective, we've put so much money forth and now we got to give it all up. And it's the moving, just the thought of losing all the value is really,
Yeah. And it wasn't just the money. It was the setup that we did on the other website, which took us
time.
2 years to set it up because we
Oh
had
my
to
God.
create every single page in that website, and
Yeah.
we created hundreds of pages.
All the community
Um,
pages, all the price differences on those community pages. So that's a ton of work. And then content. Did you add content to each specific page as well?
we did, and that was our thought to get us up there in the Google food chain. And even with all those pages with original content, it still wasn't working for us, and we still weren't up there in the chain.
Yeah.
So that was the other part of it. Moving from that provider to Agent Locator, we were worried about having to do the same thing all over again, and that wasn't the case.
Yeah, and that's I'm really glad we helped out from that perspective. I'll share you a little bit of what my thought of SEO is and what my thought of PPC is, just so kind of paint a picture from another perspective.
Yeah.
So I've been in this game now. So 12 years in Agent Locator. Prior to Agent Locator, I've been involved with the SEO concept and PPC concept from the very beginning of it. And I mean, when you could get your keywords or you could get your pages ranked up in Google with a couple of backlinks. In all honesty, I've seen the value that SEO brings, and I've seen what's happened with SEO over the years and how it's transitioned into Here's how I look at SEO and PPC. And here, I'm going to wave a magic wand, and let's say your website ranks top right now. It's ranking top for most of the keywords. You've got top positions. You're getting a ton of leads. You have to scale your operation based on the leads that are coming in because of the fact that you can't handle it all yourself. So everything amazing. And then a year later, Google changes their algorithm and your website drops completely from top position down to 10th page and you lose all of that value.
Yeah.
Here's a problem that I have with that as an entrepreneur. My problem with that is I can't build a business off of something that somebody can take away from me without my say, right? If
Yeah.
somebody can take that away from me without me actually doing something, then that sucks. I can't rely on that business constantly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So why I love PPC is not because we have a relationship with Google, or it's not because we make money from it. I love PPC because as long as I'm paying somebody that money, I'm going to get those leads.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And then my inflationary costs are going to come in because inflationary costs comes as everything, but nobody will take that away from me. Nobody can take that away from me. So if I'm going to scale my business to be a big business, I'll do it based on that. So now that's not to say you shouldn't have SEO as part of your overall strategy, but it shouldn't necessarily be the biggest one, because if that's the only one and that's the biggest one, you're digging yourself a hole, because it's not if you're going to get deranked, it's when you're going to get deranked.
Yeah, it's all about filling the pipeline, and it's all about past clients and nurturing your database, and this is just one aspect of the business.
Yeah, definitely. So that's awesome, and hopefully you get some of those ranks, have some of the pages ranked up, and you get some SEO value from that as well. But don't make it a core part of your business, because
Right.
eventually it's the dwindles and you start getting not much out of it. So
Yeah.
amazing, and thanks for the story. I really appreciate that, Rob, and really paints a nice picture for me where you're at and where you're coming from. And so when was let me actually check when your first training was with us, because what we typically do with these videos, we'll cut up like, when did you sign up with us? When was your first training? When was your first deal, to kind of paint the picture for clients what they can expect from it.
Right.
And your training was with Brana, I believe?
So Brana, yeah, she was awesome.
Thank you. Rob, and let me pull you up here. Here we go. Which brokerage are you with, Rob?
With Century 21 Bamber in Calgary.
Oh, perfect. Oh, so C21 Rue is the company, I'm guessing.
So C21 is part of the Rheology Group.
Yeah, but Rue Real Estate Webmasters is the company that created the relationship with C21 to begin with. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Well, Century 21 is actually transitioning away from Real Estate Webmasters right now.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. So they're going to a different direction altogether.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's interesting. Okay. I had no idea on that perspective. Okay, so your training, your first training was, let's see here.
It's probably December.
Yeah, December 21st to 2020. That was the first training that you had with Rana, and then you had your 4 check-ins after that. Okay, perfect. So we got the first training done, and then your lead generation website went live on, let me see when that happened. That was,
I think it was mid-January.
Yeah, it was mid-January, so it was just beginning of February. Actually, yeah, the first billing was on from the looks of it on, January 1st, actually 2021. So it actually went live. Perfect. So we know the date of when it went live, and then you're closed a deal with us from a lead that came in on, when was your closed deal?
So the lead came in January 21st. Basically, he set up a search with our website, calgarywheretolive.ca. Called him right away and basically asked him if I could help him with the search anyway. After a little bit of prodding, he let me know that his daughter is in university in Calgary, and he's looking for a townhouse, 3 bedrooms minimum, so his daughter can have roommates. I offered right away to set him up on an actual MLS search because he seemed like a real buyer, and basically transitioned him very quickly from the agent locator into our own CRM, our other CRM, which we use when we convert people.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, our system is more of a nurturing system. Let's get them to a point when they're a client. Once they're a client, once they're in the hook, we want to definitely put them into the client database.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically showed his daughter and her roommates, I think 4 townhouses. and they bought one of those 4.
Amazing.
So it was a very quick process, very, very quick possession. From condominium document reading to home inspection to possession. We did a March 1st possession. So that whole process took basically a month.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And that's really, really great to hear. So based on your experience so far with the leads that you've gotten, I think you've got about 78 leads total. How would you say the leads are? And maybe, well, have you done internet lead generation before in the past?
We have. I've never actually been happy with internet leads. I've always had a bit of an issue with internet leads because, in my opinion, my past opinion has been internet leads are all garbage.
Yeah.
And with Agent Locator, when someone signs into our website and then sets up a search, they automatically get a text message, which almost immediately warms them up a little bit, in my opinion.
Right.
And we actually have some leads that are actually responding to that text message.
Yeah.
So once they respond to the text message, you know that you're good to call them because they are ready to talk.
So do you work most of your leads that you work are responding to the SMS, or do you call every single lead that comes in?
We call every single one that comes in. The ones that respond to the SMS are a bonus. They all don't. It's probably 10% respond to SMS. But we call every single lead. So the odd lead doesn't want to talk to you. For the most part, people are actually very nice to talk to, and either let us down easy. I'm just looking for my daughter, or I'm just looking for the future, or and then sometimes you get the lead that I closed. I'm looking for this specific thing, and we need to move very quickly on this. So the way I look at these internet leads isn't to have a quick close every single time. It's basically what we do now is going to turn into a deal probably 6 months from now.
Right.
And and by nurturing these leads and calling them and emailing them and texting them, however they want to be contacted, they start warming up. My wife Diana is my business partner as well. She's working with a lead that didn't want to talk to her. I don't want any calls. Just don't talk to me. Send me properties. Don't talk to me. And then every once in a while, she would prod her with a text message, or what do you want me to change the search at all? Would you like me to do anything for you? And within a month and a half, or just over a month, she is ready to talk, and she's actually warmed up enough that she's trusting Diana enough to actually help her.
And that's so amazing. That is so amazing here, because the concept of the conversion wasn't a push; it was just be helpful. It was just be helpful, and then I'm here to help. If you've got a question, let me know. The process, the system will continue sending you stuff, and that's great to hear. That is really nice to hear.
It's never about we want to sell you something. It's about how can we help you? How can we help you achieve your goal of property ownership?
Yeah, and if we make it all about them, that's the entire idea. I mean, we all want to make it about us. If we're in a position of, being the person who's selling a product or selling a service, it's not about us. It's about you.
Exactly.
It's always about the client. So, and I'm so glad that's the. Have you guys had a chance to listen to any of the calls that Beverly has had, or have you had a chance to see?
Yeah, so when we first went through Brana's training, which was amazing, by the way, she's great. She put us on to all of the videos and the calls and basically what was said, and we do find that by initially offering help, that's the best course to take. And sometimes they'll just say we don't want to talk, or they try to get off the phone, but by prodding a little more, sometimes they will let down their guard a little bit and actually let us know what their plans are. So yes, we have gone through the videos. We also there's 3 in our team, so we bounce ideas off each other of what's working with these calls and what's not working with the calls. So we're able to do that as well, which is great. We are set up on a round robin right now, so. I'll get a lead, and then Diane will get a lead, and then our buyer's agent Brand will get a lead, and so on.
And that's amazing. That is amazing. I've seen some offices. What they do is they would put 5-6 people into a group, And let's say if agents can't afford to program by themselves, so they'll group them together, and then they'll have round robin meetings just like that, kind of find out, okay, let's find out you've gotten 50 leads in the last month. What did you do with them? What did you do with them? What did you do with them? How did they go? And that
Yeah.
also kind of helps out some of those agents that haven't done well or haven't even made some phone calls to say, well, holy crap, he's got 2 leads in the pipeline out of 50, and I've got nothing. So put
Yeah.
some fire under somebody's mouth. So that is amazing.
And
That's
we're
really nice.
also having meetings where we'll actually do a call in front of each other and learn from each other that way. So I've learned a lot from my wife Diana. She's learned a lot from me and Miranda as well. So it's a team process, and we're getting way more comfortable with these leads than we were before.
That is so amazing. It actually leads me to the next question that we have, which is, if you had one thing to tell other agents to help them be successful with internet leads, what would it be?
Follow up. It's you have to follow up, and you have to, if you don't call them, say a lead comes in at 9 o'clock at night, if you don't call them by noon the next day, they're probably off somewhere else. They've clicked on 10 other agents' websites, and they've already had 10 phone calls. Yeah. So just call them as soon as you can, and follow up, and offer help.
Perfect. It's amazing that we ask everybody the same question, and the same answer is follow up, and then the biggest failure of agents is the follow up. So it's so refreshing to hear that, and that's honestly, Rob, that's all the questions that I have. I'm going to stop the recording just so that we don't need to have it on anymore, and
okay.
I'd love to provide